ஹாய் ஹலோ வணக்கம். நான் உங்கள் சந்தோஷ். நல்லா இருப்போம். எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருப்போம். ஆமாங்க, நீங்கள் இப்போ தம்ப்நெயில் பார்த்தது கரெக்டு தான். இப்போ தான் வந்து ஏஷியன் கேம்ஸ் ஃபுட்பால் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மேட்ச் முடிஞ்சது பிட்வீன் இந்தியா அண்ட் சைனா. I'm here in the land of football in Manchester and saying this: India should never play football. Indian team should stop playing football. They don't deserve to be playing in Asian games. And the way that they played, 5-1 loss to China. Uh, you know, utter useless waste. Don't put money into football, Indian football. Stop playing it. That's a thing that we can say. But do we really need to say that way? No. The way that Indian football has come now, and I am pretty much sure in a matter of 5-10 years it could definitely overtake Indian cricket. And I keep saying this: Indian cricket's monopoly would definitely end and could rest in US hand very soon, which I strongly feel will happen. But what happened to the Indian football team in this current game? See, it is really in our hand, supporters hand, that we support our blue tigers. It's very, very, very important. What does the support does? Why do you need to support, and what does the support does? What happens if I watch a match and I support? I'll say you what happens. Why is Indian cricket team, or why is it so much of money being bulled, or poured into Indian cricket, is because of their supporters. They watch a match anywhere you go. I've said this in one of my previous videos. Here in Manchester, I was lucky enough to see some great games of football. And whenever I step out, whenever there is a weekend, there is a match going anywhere, you would see literally people, so much of rush, because exactly, my house is like center, where towards my right, if I go a mile away, there is Etihad Stadium, where it's Manchester City's stadium. And about 3-4 miles away towards my left, where I can see Manchester United's stadium. And you would see the rush happening outside the crowd, the city, the streets. That kind of rush comes in for the football match. And the bars gets full, the restaurants get full of rush. Everywhere you could see people walking and looking at their mobile screen. If they could not watch it on the stadium, or if they could not watch it elsewhere, they could still look at their mobile phone and watch the match. What happens, when people watch the game? As we all know, end of the day, every single sport is a business. So when people realize that 150 odd million people in India, if they start watching, for say that were an Indian Pakistan match, we call, say, so many millions of people, so many billions of people watch the game. What if there is a same similar game between, say, as the game now which happened India and China? What if they had the same kind of an watchers, or whatever you call viewers, for a game of where Indian football team is playing? That's when the money comes in, guys. What happens if money comes in? A lot of facilities comes in, a lot of infrastructures build up will happen, and people would players would get into different approaches. Different players, they would get in touch with the international stars. International coaches comes in, international physical trainers comes in. A lot of things happen. Yes, it is happening. I'm not denying the fact it is happening in India currently, but it would happen in maybe into 100 times faster. And that's something which is really, really, really needed. Indian football team needs support now. The players are ready now. Players are ready. Players are kind of fighting it. They are putting their heart out there. Today I would say Indian team lost to China because of the physical ability. Is that the only reason? No, I would come back to the other reasons. But what is the physical challenges here? So initially, if you say take 5-10 years ago, before this ISL and stuff, we would literally lost to any bigger teams, even before competing, because of our physical ability. We would not be able to run 90 minutes harder than the other teams. Physically, the other team would be strong, in terms of strength, in terms of power, in terms of speed. But current Indian team, anybody for that matter, they are good enough, they are fast enough, they are strong enough, they can run as quick as any other player. But again, today, why China won is because of the height factor. They realized the fact that Indians are not that good in when it comes to when the ball is kept in the air. And they started that strategy in the first half, where they just get into the D, hit a ball, play the ball aerial, and get the scoring done through heading and stuff. India fought till 70 minutes. They were absolutely, hats off, amazing. I would say that goal of Rahul KP was just brilliant, guys. You can take it, like, after 10-20 years, you might be saying, that goal made a difference where India is now. Because the reason why, even though we lost, the reason why I'm saying is we are heavily dependent on one person to hit a goal, which is none other than our captain Sunil Chetri. But now when we see the new chaps coming and new lots coming in, and they're just going for goal, don't forget, this is not the best Indian team on the field. They had a lot of problems. First, to start with, Indian board, which is the Olympic Committee, or the football generation, or the sports minister, weren't ready to send Indian football team for the Asian Games, because India was not in the top eight. And that was the said rule. If your team is top eight, we would send it. But if it was not, they didn't send. And literally, Igor Stimac and the players, literally, I mean, Igor had wrote a letter to the Indian football committee head, prime minister, if I'm not wrong, and even the sports minister, asking to send the team to the Asian Games. Yes, and then eventually it happened. But what happened later? The ISL franchisee owners weren't ready to send their players. The beginning of the season has started for ISL, so they'd want their players to be playing for their club, and not for the country. This is where I would say hats off to BCCI, though I feel it will change. But then I'm saying, IPL is the biggest brand, but BCCI is still holding the power, not the franchisees, where they would take a call. It is always BCCI who takes a call. So that should be the case in football as well. uh, we had to literally wait, beg, plead to players to be released to play for India, which is not the right thing to do. And what happened eventually, most of the big name players, arrived very late to the team. See, a game like cricket, you can definitely, single man can win a game any given day. Yes, it is a team game, definitely. But on a given day, a single man can win you a game, like what Siraj did the other day, like what Sachin has done in many times, Virat Kohli has done many times. So any given day, a single man can win a game. But in football, you can never win a game by a single person performing at the highest level. You would need a team. So for that, you would need to practice as a team. So to practicing as a team is very important, right? So people arriving very late, having a jet lag, going into a game and playing, this is unimaginable, and that's what we've did today. And that's why you see posts at 70 minutes, because the intensity that you show on the field is heavy. It's something that we cannot just say. We would say, like, these are players. These have been, they have been trained for years and years and years, all day for this particular game. But then why are they not able to compete after 70 minutes? Yes, it is because of the jet lag. It is because of the preparation. Because football is a game where you need to prepare for the event, for the opponent, for what they play, what style of game they play. What is needed for us. If I'm going to the left, where do you go? If I'm going here, where do I need the partner to come? So that combination is really, really, really important. So who was supposed to be blamed here? Is the Indian board? Is that the ISL franchisee owners? I don't know. I mean, it's not all lost now. We can still make it to the round two. We have Myanmar and Bangladesh, if I'm not wrong, the other two teams in the group. If we can beat them, pretty easily, which I feel they will and they should, because for the next games we will have other players coming in as well. So it's a pretty good team that we I could see. And for sure, next 5 to 10 years, in the Indian team, I could see that 2047 is the year that we have given for the Indians, for Indian football, as in a vision to 2047. But I could see that we would reach there in 10 years time now. These kids are just amazing, and we have a excellent grassroots facilities now that was being created by AIFF, which is reaping benefits from an under 13, under 17, under 19, 20, 21. It's including women's as well. So hats off to the Indian football federation, and the entire support, and the coach Igor Stimac. Hats off to him as well. He was so stubborn in getting these players. First thing, ensure to playing this Asian Games. He was the reason, and then getting these players and now playing as well. Hats off to that. See, we are not expecting immediate results. That's something that I would want every single supporters to know. It's not that they go and play Argentina, they go play against Portugal or Brazil or Germany and win 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 5-0. No, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna get ripped off like this. But what is a fight that they show is important. Even Indian cricket team has lost games again, 36 all out, 26, 54 all out. Well, it doesn't mean that you stop supporting your team, right? So it should be there. Support is necessity here. If India had to play football, maybe 2027, I mean 2026, or 2030, or whichever year it is up to the supporters, which is very, very, very important. I would still say, put your heart out, cheer for your football team. They would make you proud very soon, and I'm sure India is going towards that. It will happen. The amount of energy that they showed today. Yes, 70 minutes is all that we could play. Exceptional game, but after that, it's just this game, guys. It's just because of the jet lags that they went through. They didn't have any preparation time, and so many other things happening. So I'm sure India would thrash the other two games against Myanmar and Bangladesh, and we could still make it to the second round. I'm not expecting India to win this game, win this Asian Games a medal, but then that fight is what I would wanted to see, and they are giving it. The players, entire players. It's not just the 22 here. We have a good, solid 50 odd, good players who could represent India at any given day, at any given stage. But the key is, are we good enough? Are we the supporters, are we the audience good enough to cheer for them, support them, watch the game? Not as in a support. They're not asking you to keep praising them, post them, follow them in terms of their Instagram page. That those things are secondary. Don't fight for them. Don't compare cricket and football here. The thing that they want is, you guys have to watch their game. Watch the game, understand the game, talk about it, share, spread the news. Where are they playing, what are they playing? If you keep watching those games, definitely eventually, it would benefit them, and a lot more people who are following football. So which is very 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 important. uh, I hope these things will happen very soon. And I say India can never play football unless you guys support it. Is very 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 important. Let us all support Indian football team and ensure that they make it big one day and make us proud. And not to forget, India Asian Games are going on, and a lot of other games are there. A lot of medals are expected this year. In fact, there is a campaign of what is that, 100 medals this year is something which is happening. I'm sure, pretty much sure, we would cross the 100. India has been a dominant country in terms of Asian Games. uh, Maybe definitely China is, is much much bigger than us. But then, yeah, that's a fight that we would definitely keep giving it. And India has just won a game in volleyball against Cambodia with three straight sets. Let's cheer for India. Let's have more medals coming in for us. Thank you guys. Nallarpum, nallarpum. Ellarum nallarpum. Bye bye.